Hi, I'm Andrew Armstrong. Welcome to the back office Teardown Lab. I'm sort of continuing with my Land Rover fixing stuff. This control module is, I think, the sat-nav, to be honest with you. I should really check. Or is it the TV tuner? Tell you what, let's have a look. Internets is always very useful. So if you're doing anything like that, obviously just search for a number. So you can see this is a Lear part number there. So I'm going to just put in that number. Although you got this yill, I'm going to go for that one though. I think that's going to be more likely. So the 037, got my phone here, 37254254080. Let's see what that one is. It does come up with something, a Range Rover Vogue module, Becker or professional, blah blah blah. I'm seeing it, but what is it? What is it? There's eBay. Come on, eBay's coming up with something. Range Rover 3 130 kilowatt. What? Yeah. Anyway, I can tell you it's going to be one of a couple of things. It's either going to be part of the radio or part of the sat nav, and it's got two antennas, or it could be even the TV tuner. Who knows? But the main thing is this is the business end, and it's filthy. So want to have a quick clean of that. And I'm hoping, unlike previous experience of some of these, that all of the terminals will be in there. Yes, they seem to be. I'm just going to pour out that gunk. Yeah, nice and clean. Bit of a shame the way these are installed, so that any moisture will collect and sit in those and corrode everything out to hell. But it looks really clean inside, actually. It's better than I was expecting. I think if you saw one of my composite mods, some of these have a TV tuner and you can't get any action, but remember I use these Nintendo mods. It might be possible to sort of, there's loads of room to fit something like that in here, so then you can override the TV signal with something that you can use with a composite. So that might be a nice mod, but let's forget about that one. That one seems alright. This one is another part of that whole radio setup. Again, that looks very radio-ish, doesn't it? That sort of back end. Interesting enough, I did check out this part number, and it is part of the radio. It is this Harman Becker automotive radio thing, and replacement part is £400. So definitely worth fixing up and cleaning. Get all that squiz out of there. Again, all the pins. I'm just counting the pins when I'm looking in here all the time. I think you've seen me do this a billion times now, so you're pretty much au fait with the whole cleaning pins procedure. So I've removed a clip. There was a clip that was slid in here, and I've already popped that out, and that sort of locks in the PCB. And the reason is, I could see in there's a bit of funk, basically some corrody funks that we want to remove. Let's crack it open. And I couldn't do this in the vehicle because, well, one, it's not good to do in a vehicle, but more importantly, I just didn't have the right tool. But I do have the right tool now. We're just going to go in from the top here. Which size is better? That one's even better. Nice, just a Torx bit. Old cars. What would I do without old cars to play with, eh? I tell you what, there's lots of things, but I just can't help it. Can't help myself. The reason is, you might find vehicles with issues like this, and things like this cost hundreds of pounds to fix for normals. And not that I'm abnormal, but you know what I mean. Regular Joes. And they basically get rid of these cars because the cost is going to cost them several £1,000s. So when I see them, I just like, okay, I think I'll have that. Thank you very much, because that way I get to drive around in nice cars that I could not normally afford. The UK, it turns out, is the only country basically where second-hand cars are so cheap, throwaway cheap, and that's just because people don't know how to fix them, or the garages charge way too much money for the efforts involved. And yeah, it's a bizarre scenario, but it works out for people who can do things for themselves. Interesting board though. Look, it's got actually a little pin header with a tiny bit of kind of a capped on tape, as if it's never been used. I wonder what that would have been for. Some sort of module. On the back, it's looking good. I mean, we can't tell what's inside the cans, although I wasn't going to bother, but it's easy enough to get off. No, there is a tiny bit of crust on there. Easily dealt with. Crustiness removed. Very light sort of surface rust. So that makes me want to maybe take the cover off this side. Yeah, but not enough to actually bother taking it off. No, go on. I feel I've sort of started in the idea of taking it off, so I kind of have to now. Just have a quick look underneath there. You can see if we look, peer in there. Yeah, there's nothing to worry about. There's no sort of crustiness. So it may well be this is a TV tuner. I sort of get confused with these things. They're all these modular car stuff. But that's the bit that's more concerning, is the sort of corrosion on those pins, and that's something you definitely want to get out of there. Fortunately though, it's looking quite good. It's little drip. I'm just checking the other side of the board. Doesn't seem to have spread any further, fortunately. We're just going to get this little bit of tissue in there. Now we can have a proper look. Yeah, I'm pretty satisfied that's actually okay. Looking underneath, pretty good. I do have my soldering iron on and it's next to me, so if you've got this, what you could do, you can always, if you're just any sort of concerns at all, just go and touch each one and reflow them. You can reflow them all the way through. I shall have a go at a couple so we can see the reflowing process. Get some solder. This is odd. It's been held at very odd angles. I have to hold the soldering iron on my fingertips just to even get it in the shot. Nice. You can hear it sizzling away. That sizzle sound is the actual cleaner we just put on there. Yeah, that's looking alright. So that's a couple reflowed. I kind of feel now I'm going to have to reflow the rest. So we'll just zoom out. Quick, hook that up this way. And I'm going to assume you can't see what I'm up to, which is good, so I can get away with some nasty ones. I'm just trying to avoid getting any sort of solder bridges or anything, just because it's annoying. Now I've got one here that didn't want to take solder, so that's quite probably a good indication there could be some more corrosion that's worth investigating on that. In fact, I think I will. So that's a good point. So where I've done that now, and it's not taking solder, it's making me suspicious, deeply suspicious. So I've got my little wire brush here, and I'm just going to run it along there. Again, don't go too nuts because you don't want to take the top layer of the varnish off the PCB. So I'm going to have another go at attacking that one. Oh, I made a little TP here so we can have a look at what I'm up to. So let's see if I can find it. It was this one here. Can't actually see what I'm doing. I think I've put a lot of solder on its buddy next to it, and it's still persisting in not taking solder. So that's, again, let's try to get a bit more heat in it. At this rate, I'm going to have to get out some flux. that one next to it again has taken even more solder. Finally it's taken it. So someone in the future is going to have a look at this and think, what was going on that pin needed so much solder? Right, that's looking pretty good. So yeah, go through if you want to, touch up any that look dodgy, touch them all up, and then put it back in the box. I think all in all though, I'm pretty pleased with that. Again, 400 quid. Go second hand, you get them a lot cheaper than that. Not sure what it is, but if you do know what it is, let me know. Interesting sort of chip here. It looks maybe it's a crystal or something in a... No, that's a crystal, but it's got something encased in a blob here. A very soft sort of silicone. Yeah, interesting enough. Have a go, clean your connectors, chuck it in your car. Thanks for watching.